Hello and welcome to a brand new video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. See right now, you join me in the car for this frosty morning. Today we are predicting Premier League Game Week 20. That is right. In this series, guys, I'll go through each side, give some details about each side, and then give you my prediction at the end of that conversation. So, like to the video, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not ready. But we are back with a bang with these videos now. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, and let's predict Premier League Game Week 20. First up, guys, we've got Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. That is right. So Villa lost 4-1 to Arsenal in the last game week, which now puts their title hopes at a massive stalemate. Okay, so because of that, now they're now 6 points behind leaders Arsenal. In my opinion, Villa could not handle Arsenal's attacking threat, and you know what? Villa have been very good at defending them this year, but against better teams like Arsenal, it proved obviously to be a bit too much. But overall though, man, what happens to Villa this season? They've had a fantastic season and they can push on and see what happens now, because obviously I don't think they'll win the league now, because obviously they've just lost to their title contenders. But you know what though, fantastic season so far, and you know, if you can continue what they're doing now, then you know they'll be in the top 3 this season. They're up against Forest, 2-0 to Everton. Okay, now they have lost a couple of games on the bounce right now. To me, they just don't score enough goals, and that is a massive problem in the Premier League. Just on that, guys, I've got Villa to beat Forest. That's right, I've got Villa to beat Forest and bounce back 2-1. Next, we've got Brighton versus Burnley. So Brighton drew 2-2 with West Ham. Overall, a decent point. Brighton should have won. Welbeck tried a Bianca penalty. It did not work, and I think if they just do the basics, man, you know, do the basics, stop doing all this showboating stuff, they would have won that game 3-2. But overall, a point is a point, but a very poor point against West Ham, obviously considering the way West Ham are right now. Okay, but they're up against Burnley, who lost 2-1 to Newcastle. You know what? Burnley did put up a fight, and you know what? They are playing a bit better now. Yeah, they did lose to Newcastle, but they are competing. And to be fair to Burnley, guys, they have competed all season, not been thrashed. They've just can't get the win, and you know, that is why they're in the bottom 3 now, because they just can't keep the goals out. They're scoring goals, but just can't keep the goals out. And Scott Parker, man, you know, he's done a fantastic job. I think he'll stay. I don't think he'll get sacked, because obviously the sack now, guys, obviously, you know, it's halfway through the season. So the time the manager comes in, you know, it'll take a couple of games, even more than, you know, 5 games to at least get the players the way he wants to play. So stick with Scott Parker. He's a decent manager, and, you know, just try and compete, man. Buy some players in January transfer window, because they are lacking in squad depth. And if you get a few players in, then, you know, that could hopefully try and help them out a little bit. But I've got Brighton, guys, to beat Burnley. That's why I've got Brighton to beat Burnley 2-0. Wolves versus West Ham. So Wolves got a point. That is what they got, a point against Man United. Typical Man United to give them a point. But yeah, 1-1 draw, guys, with Man United. A good battle by Wolves. And that is what you want to see more of Wolves, man. They want to, you know, battle in. That was all you need to see Wolves do, man. And yeah, because of that, they got a point, which now moves them up to 3 points. It's still not good enough, but you know, guys, that is a step in the right direction. They keep doing that. You know, just keep battling. Getting the points against Man United is a massive point. And it's a shame to see where Wolves are this season, because Wolves do have a good side. You know, they are a Premier League side, but this season it's just not gone to their way, and yeah, it's not been great. But so in the right direction, guys. They got a point against Man United, and that's all you can ask for. Okay, they're up against West Ham, who drew 2-2 with Brighton. I've seen some news online right now about you know, Santo is set to be sacked. I don't know how true it is. I don't think he'll get sacked. Obviously, they're looking at another manager, apparently. That's what I have heard. But I don't think they'll sack him, because you know, yeah, guys, West Ham has been quite a strange season with West Ham. In my opinion, what they are lacking massively is a consistent striker. That is why obviously they've got the full rug, who's about to leave. Callum Wilson, good player, but not a Premier League standard player anymore. Jarrod Bowen's playing out of position, so their main player, Bowen, is out of position, playing up front. He plays on the wing more often, but you know, West Ham just need to get a good striker in for January, and then, you know, they can actually push on. So we'll see what happens with them. They do remain in the bottom 3 though, so that is pretty poor. But I got West Ham, guys, to beat Wolves. That's why I got West Ham to beat Wolves. Only 1-0. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. So Bournemouth, through a fantastic fight, 2-2 draw against Chelsea. That's 2 points now they've picked up from Chelsea this season. So they are unbeaten against Chelsea this season. You know what? Bournemouth, man, great point. But now they are set to lose Semenyo to ManCity. I think they're about to agree that deal with ManCity. So massive loss. If they lose him in January, that's a massive loss. They are looking at a few players. For example, they're looking at my Leicester boy Abdul Fatawu. They can keep their hands off Fatawu because he's not for sale. But money talks. Yeah, and they're looking at Brennan Johnson. I don't know, man. I don't know. Bournemouth, fantastic point against Chelsea, but they're about to lose their best player. And I don't know what will happen to Bournemouth this season, guys. Obviously, they've lost so many good players this season, at the start of the season as well. And you know what? Even though they have done all that, where they are in the league, it doesn't really, you know, show that. Because they say Bournemouth have been fighting this year, and that's all you can ask for. Up against Arsenal, who beat Villa 4-1, massive statement to put them 6 points clear at the top of the table. Yeah, massive point, massive win for Arsenal right there. They've shown Villa how title contenders are, okay? And you know what? After that performance against Villa, they're in for a massive shout this season for the Premier League title. Obviously, the way they play, man, fantastic stuff. Odegaard he ran the show. Setting up all the goals, fantastic, man. But yeah, Arsenal shown Villa what it is like for title contenders. So just on that, guys, I've got Arsenal to beat Bournemouth 3-1. Leeds versus Man United. That is right, Leeds, man. Leeds are on it right now. Leeds are pushing higher up in the table. They are looking so good. They've got an actual goal scorer in their team this season, Blue, and he has now scored 6 games on the bounce, okay, and he's getting closer to Vardy's record, but he won't do it, trust me. But either way, man, Leeds have a fantastic striker in Calvert-Lewin, and that is what they have lacked for many years in the Premier League, okay? So when they come up, they come straight back down, they come up, come straight back down, but now they've got a goal scorer in their team. They are proving to be tough to beat, okay, and yeah, fair play to Leeds. Yeah, they have really shown how good they are in the last couple of 3 games or so, and that is all we can say. Fantastic stuff, fantastic turnaround, and I hope it can continue for Leeds, because Leeds are a good Premier League side, but obviously they've just lacked a few qualities in the side recently, but now they've got a striker in Calvert-Lewin. Fantastic. They're up against Man United, who gave Wolves their point. Man United, guys, Man United, they beat Newcastle last week, then they go and draw to Wolves. I think they're looking a bit better than what they have done in recent times, you know, in the last couple of years or so, but there's still a long way to go for Man United. So just on that, guys, I've got Leeds to beat Man United. That's why I've got Leeds to beat Man U 2-1. Everton versus Brentford. So Everton, they beat Forest 2-0. That was without Jack Grealish, who was sat on the bench, and Jude Behor, who was out injured for a hamstring injury. Terry Barry, you know, I said to you guys at the start of the season that he will score goals. Once he scores goals, he will look a complete player. And that's so far so good. He's got on the score sheet yet again. And you know what, Everton, man, they've pushed up the table again. And yeah, you know what, considering they didn't have all their best players playing, to beat Forest 2-0, good achievement right there. Brentford, right, Brentford are a team right now that are, again, going up in the table. Brentford sit in 9th place. Their last 3 games, they have drew 1 and won 2. So Brentford are on to something special right now. Sharda got a hat-trick, and again, he's looking a good player. Like again, he's kind of player who needs confidence to play well, and that is what he's got right now. He's got that confidence to play well, and yeah, Brentford, man, are onto something special. They're sitting 9th place in the table, competing for a top 7 finish for the Europa Conference League and the Europa League as well. And you know what? Fair play to Brentford, man. Fair play to Keith Andrews. Done fantastic since he's come in, and may it continue. So just on that, guys, I've got this game to end as a very exciting draw. I've got this game to end as a 2-2 draw. Fulham versus Liverpool. So Fulham have now won 3 games on the bounce as I'm recording this right now. They are playing tonight in the game week 19, but because it was Christmas, guys. I've got to do this game week 19. Obviously, a bit of a rest, but your boy's back at it. So yeah, so as of right now, they are 3 games unbeaten, which now puts them up to massive 12th place in the table. They've really pushed up the league recently, and I told you guys, Fulham will come good, and that's what is happening right now. They're up against Liverpool, who again also playing tonight. Okay, in their last 5 games, they've drew 2 and won 3, which now sees them up to 4th place in the table. So, considering their massive drop off, they have now come back stronger and unbeaten now. Okay, but they did struggle against Wolves though. They did beat Wolves 2-1, but a massive struggle. And you know, that is the same old Liverpool that's happened this season. They've just not been able to put teams away, but they have done recently. So we'll see what happens. Sit in 4th place, and that is all. You know, that is the main thing, considering they were near bottom before all these wins. So just on that, guys, I've got Liverpool to beat Fulham 2-0. Newcastle versus Palace. So Newcastle beat Burnley 2-1, which now sees them up in 10th in the league. That is right. They welcome back Wizard. He scored again, so that's 2 games now he has scored on the bounce. So Wizard, man, he's come back from injury. Obviously, Newcastle signed him from Brentford while he was injured, and that was a massive problem. Obviously, he was out for most of the season. He is now back. He's starting up front and he's scoring goals. And so yeah, so now they've got Wizard, they've got Waldemar up front now. So you know what? Newcastle can try and push on this season now and get as high as possible in the table. Okay, they're up against Crystal Palace, who are playing tonight as you're watching this right now. So Palace are about to sign, obviously between 2 teams, you've got Bournemouth and Palace, but I think Palace are closer. I think Palace are set to sign Brennan Johnson. What a massive signing that will be for Palace. Okay, they have lacked someone like his quality. Obviously they got Mateta, they've got Yoma Pino, Kamada and stuff like that, Sarr. But Brennan Johnson will give that massive edge to Palace. And you know what? They've got a good strike force, Palace. If they get Brennan Johnson, they've got a fantastic strike force. And in my opinion, if Brennan Johnson had the choice between 2 teams, I think Palace is the team you need to go to, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But if they get him in January, then that is a massive signing, and we'll see what happens. But just on that, I got this game, guys, to end as a draw. That's why I got this game to end as a 1-1 draw. Spurs versus Sunderland. So Spurs beat Palace 1-0. Not convincing again, but they did win, and you know, they have moved up now to 13th in the table. I can't believe how poor Spurs are, man. They have been so poor this season yet again. But yeah, in my opinion though as well, I don't know why they are selling Brennan Johnson. You know, he's a fantastic player. On his day, he's, you know, very confident. Yeah, I think they'll lose him. I think they'll miss him massively if they get rid of Brennan Johnson. I don't know why they want to get rid of him. It's better than Richarlison. I think Richarlison needs to go. But yeah, Spurs are in this place again where they always have been, in a bit of a sticky situation where they don't know what they want, and that is why Spurs have been Spurs for so many years. They just make some rash decisions. They're up against Sunderland, who do not need any introduction, guys. They sit a massive 6th in the table. Sunderland, man, have been so good this season, and it's great to see a lower side competing for the top half of the table and competing for the top 5. And it's great to see, because obviously in recent times it has been the top 6 for many years, and yeah, good to see a lower team competing. And you know what? I want Sunderland to beat Spurs. So that is why I got Sunderland to beat Spurs 2-0. We are now down to the final game of this game week. It is ManCity. In my opinion, this is the game of the weekend. ManCity versus Chelsea. ManCity are now 5 games unbeaten. They've won all their last 5 games. As I'm recording this right now, it could all change by tonight, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, they sit a massive 5 points behind leaders Arsenal after Arsenal's fantastic 4-1 win against Villa. But ManCity will not let Arsenal off lightly. Okay, ManCity will just keep pushing. They've got such a good side. Reinders is scoring goals again. Haaland, Foden, Serkey. You know, they've got some good players, and you know, Man City will just keep going until it is the final whistle of the season. At 5 points, it's quite a bit of a difference, but Arsenal are known to back off after a bit. So if they can keep that gap as low as possible like they are now, then Arsenal, just hope Arsenal scuff and start slowly dropping, but we'll see what happens. They're up against Chelsea, sitting 5th place. They drew to Brentford, then they drew to Bournemouth. Okay, so that is not great. Not great for Chelsea right now. They have dropped down to 5th place in the table. And again, with Chelsea, they have a habit of conceding goals, and that is why they are sitting 5th place, because they just can't keep the goals out. And they're also picking up points, like 1 point against lower teams, and that is not good if you want to compete for the title. Enzo Maresca, a good manager, but I think with Chelsea it's very hard to be a manager for them, because they've got so many players in the squad, and that would do my head in. It would do my head in trying to rotate the squad every single game week, and I think he's feeling it a little bit. So I think Chelsea need to back off, sell some players, and just try and keep the players that they want at a minimum. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he's in talk. Obviously, he's the next man to take charge of Man City when Pep does decide to go. But I've got Man City, guys. The way Man City are right now, I've got Man City to beat Chelsea a massive 3-0. And there we go, guys. That's my Premier League Game Week 20 predictions. If you did agree with any of my decisions, let me know down below in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a debate about it in the comments. And thank you for watching today's video, guys. Brand new video. Happy New Year as well. Let this year be a fantastic year for you. Make this year be your year, okay? If it haven't already, just keep going, man. Yes, times are hard right now, but just keep going. And you should have a good 2026. And just remember, man, you need to think ahead, not negative, because if you think negative, then it is a whole different story. Trust me, guys. But just try and be happy if you can, and think positive, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys next week for a brand new one. Good, and good night.